Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that literally dictates almost every single aspect of our modern lives, aligning our personal finances with Islamic principles. Now, understanding how our money works isn't just about spreadsheets and balancing checkbooks, right? It's really about our peace of mind, our spiritual well-being, and ultimately, our freedom. So today we're going to unpack the realities of riba, figure out exactly where it's hiding, and map out a concrete, actionable path to true financial liberation. Let's dive right in. So you might be wondering, why does easy money always seem to come with such a massive catch? I mean, we live in this crazy era of one-click loans and instant credit approvals. But that initial sigh of relief, when the funds actually hit your account, it so often turns into a suffocating mountain of stress just a few months later. These modern financial conveniences are heavily marketed to us as lifelines. We're constantly told they're designed to help us, but the reality for far too many people is just a trap of crippling debt and endless anxiety. To get to the bottom of this, here's our roadmap for the explainer. First, understanding riba simply. Second, the true cost of riba. Third, strategies to escape riba debt. And fourth, halal Sharia financial alternatives. All right. Kicking things off with Section 1, Understanding Riba Simply. So what actually is it? At its core, riba is basically unearned excess. It's an additional amount required in a transaction, most commonly in lending, that's there for literally no other reason than the passage of time. It's not based on any productive effort, it's not real trade, and it's certainly not mutual investment. If you borrow money and the lender demands more money back purely because of a delay in your payment, that excess is riba. It's simply money making money, completely detached from any real economic value or shared risk. Now, what makes riba so incredibly dangerous today is that it almost never wears a name tag. It hides right in plain sight within our everyday financial products. We see it in standard interest loans and your everyday credit cards, but it actually goes a lot deeper. Take late payment fines, for example. In Islamic finance, this is known as riba jahiliya, where your inability to pay on time triggers a multiplying penalty. Then there's riba karth, which is an unjust advance excess, where the lender demands an immediate extra cut just for giving you the privilege of the loan. These things are so seamlessly woven into our daily lives, they end up tricking really well-meaning people into highly restrictive agreements. So why do so many of us fall for this? Well, it's the classic temptation trap. The process is just so incredibly fast. The initial terms look totally manageable, they often skip strict credit checks, and boom, instant results. When you're trying to provide for your family and suddenly the car breaks down or a medical emergency hits, man, this system looks like the ultimate emergency door. And it's so easy to empathize with anyone who walks through that door out of pure desperation. But the hard truth, that door rarely actually leads to safety.
Which brings us to Section 2, the true cost of riba.
Take a look at this. O you who believe, do not eat riba that multiplies and fear Allah that you may be lucky. This verse from Surah Ali Imran really hits the nail on the head regarding the core spiritual prohibition. It's explicitly warning us against the multiplying nature of this kind of debt. From a spiritual perspective, ignoring this command strips the blessing or the barakah straight out of our wealth. It's a really grounded reminder that true financial success and stability are tied to our obedience and fear of the Almighty, not to exploiting compound interest. And this leads to some massive structural differences between two completely conflicting financial worldviews. Under the riba system, the lender is basically sitting pretty, staying profitable no matter what happens to the borrower. Even if your business literally burns to the ground, the lender still demands their fixed cut. It's inherently unbalanced. But the Sharia system, that's built on a totally different foundation. Actual profit and risk sharing. If there's a loss, you bear it together. If there's a profit, it's shared. It completely transforms the lender and borrower from adversaries into actual partners. And this right here is exactly why riba isn't just some individual religious issue. It's a massive systemic societal problem. Think about it. When lenders take absolutely zero risk but are guaranteed a profit, it creates this deep systemic injustice. It completely overloads the most vulnerable borrowers while funneling wealth straight to those who are already wealthy. The result? Profitable inequality and a totally unstable distribution of wealth across the community. It basically forces society into a state of dependence on a debt system that only serves the folks at the very top. But let's bring this back down to the individual level for a second. The story's material describes this heavy burden as brain pressure. And honestly, that's exactly what it is. It's that crippling anxiety you get from debt collectors, the feeling of a double interest load just swelling up month after month. people end up digging brand new holes just to cover up the old ones. As people just trying to build stable lives, this mental burden completely destroys our peace of mind. It robs us of sleep, it puts massive strain on our families, and it fundamentally brings unborn losses right to our front door.
Okay, let's pivot to some solutions. Section 3, Strategies to Escape Riba Debt.
Listen, if you're feeling the weight of all this right now, I want you to know it is absolutely not hopeless. Here is your 5-step action plan for liberation. Step 1, repentance or nasuha. Just sincerely regret the action, put a stop to it, and ask God to make the path easier. Step 2 is pure strategy. Immediately prioritize paying off the debt with the highest interest first to stop the bleeding. Step 3, actually go to the creditor and request payment concessions or interest waivers based on simple human principles. Step 4 takes some real courage. If you have to, sell off goods or property. Sacrificing an asset today for inner peace tomorrow is a trade-off you have to be willing to make. And step 5, work harder to secure a new halal source of income. This speeds up your repayment and ensures your earnings are completely free from doubt. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, executing those steps, it requires mujahada, which means serious struggle. Escaping debt isn't just a math problem, it's a huge test of your personal discipline. You've got to aggressively rein in your spending. The real secret here is learning to distinguish between daruriyat, which are your absolute true needs, and tahsiniyat, which are really just desires. This is where you have to apply the satisfaction principle. You have to learn to feel genuinely happy with what you currently have so you aren't tempted to fall back into a luxury, consumptive lifestyle funded by unblessed credit. Moving on to our final part, Section 4, Halal Sharia Financial Alternatives. Because once you finally break out of that trap, you're going to need viable replacements to build wealth the right way. And Islam offers systems that are actually fair, transparent, and mutually beneficial. On the business side, we've got mudaraba and musharaka. These are genuine profit and risk-sharing models where losses are actually shared according to the agreement. It creates real justice between the folks with the capital and the people running the business. For those in dire need, there's Qard al-Hazan. These are pure, zero-interest charity loans designed strictly to help, not to profit off someone's bad luck. And at the community level, we have BMTs or Sharia cooperatives. These are brilliant, family-based support systems where members literally lift each other up through savings, completely free of any riba. So what's your actionable takeaway right now? You need to actively transfer your savings, your insurance, the whole shebang, over to dedicated Sharia financial institutions. Just make sure they're supervised by the National Sharia Council. Taking this step ensures that your daily transactions are governed by perfectly clear contracts, keeping your wealth entirely free from gharar, which is deceptive uncertainty, and maisir, which is gambling. It's really all about taking intentional, uncompromising control of your financial environment. And all of this brings us to the ultimate goal: doing business with real clarity, fairness, and mutual respect. Look, understanding the problem of riba isn't just about ticking boxes and following rules. Avoiding these exploitative setups is a religious obligation for sure, but honestly, it's also just the absolute best effort you can make to keep your finances safe, stable, and deeply blessed. It's what allows you to build a foundation of lasting peace for yourself, your family, and your whole community. So, you see the trap now? You know the devastating costs, and you've got the roadmap to get out and rebuild ethically, which leaves us with one final question. Will you choose the fleeting illusion of easy money, knowing full well the mental and spiritual toll it's going to take? Or will you choose the lasting peace of blessed, disciplined wealth? The path of discipline might be a serious struggle today, but I promise you, it leads to absolute freedom tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Take action, stay disciplined, and I will catch you next time.